All right, well, this is definitely a video I thought I would never be making, ever. This is crazy. So you guys haven't seen much of this container, but the Rainies put this up here during homestead rescue because Liz and I expressed so much, love for the top of this mountain. This was the first spot where Liz and I kind of realized that this property is really, really cool. Like, we need to make it happen buying this property. The peak of this mountain is where we realized that. So the Rainies put this nice container up here for us to this spring, get started on like a little mountaintop cabin. They built us this nice deck that I'm standing on. And you guys may have noticed behind me here that this container looks a little rough. So Liz came up this morning about 7 o'clock in the morning, and she was just walking, hiked to the top, had the dogs with her. Came back down and she said somebody broke into the container, and my first thought was the container outside, and I thought like the one outside by the house, and I thought there's not that much stuff in there, I guess. Okay, and she's like, the container at the top, somebody broke into it and they lit it on fire. And that just like it didn't make sense. It still like is hard. It doesn't make sense. So that somebody obviously trespassed on our property. And I'm going to show you all the details here, but let's just give you the quick gist. Somebody trespassed on our property, definitely forcibly broke this door down, kicked this door down, and lit a fire inside. I'm assuming they broke that window out also to try to get the fire going. There's evidence that was ripping out the window pretty good. So this just is super shitty, super, super bad. I'll flip this around and show you guys what we got going on up here. So we'll give you just the quick tour. Like, I wish it was under better circumstances, guys, but they built this big deck for us with this super nice view, overlook the whole valley. And this is on the top of Liz and I's mountain where I proposed to her. Like, this is a very, very special spot to us. I proposed to her right where this container is sitting. And the Rainies, made us this beautiful bench, and they put this container up here, and somebody lit it on fire. So let's just start from the beginning. So door was locked. We locked this door, every time we left here, and we never had locked it with intent for, keeping people out, but we had it locked because a time or two the wind had blown this open and some water got inside here and froze and expanded. It had pushed the door open a little bit, so we just got in the habit of locking the door, and the door was locked. You can see right here there's like a nice 90-degree elbow, and that kind of continues down. So they try to throw a cinder block at it. Cinder block is right over there. So they definitely threw a cinder block at this thing, and looks like that probably didn't work. And then they went to kick, and looks like we got one boot print down here, and I've taken pretty good pictures of all of this, guys. I've talked to the sheriff's department, and they're definitely looped in on all of this. But yeah, so they didn't break through. They got to kicking. Eventually was able to just kind of blow the jam apart. And this piece with the catch, back piece of the jam, was the first piece to give. And guys, look at this. You can see that somebody was hammering on this freaking door. This was all tight. None of those gaps are here. Liz and I had come up here and spray foamed the entire door to keep the elements out. So somebody was just really booting on this door. So coming here to where everything kind of went down, I guess. Jed, get out. There's glass. Jed, get out. There's glass. So this beam was outside. Liz and I had that set over against the edge as a kind of just a barrier. So if any vehicles came up, there was something that they hit before they went over the edge. So they brought this beam in to try to fuel the fire. And our whole plan was to turn it into some sort of a mountaintop retreat. We had a mattress in here. Liz and I had a huge foam mattress in here. We had these really, really nice reclining chairs that were originally my grandparents'. We had, you know, just a few nickel and dime household type items here. And they set all that on fire. I know for sure this was just right outside the door here. These pieces of lumber. This is just like an old rotted log. I know for sure those were right outside. I'd seen them in the past. So I'm assuming they used those to break this window out. Lots of evidence on the window of some very serious heat. So this fire was ripping at one point out of this window. Paint's completely burned off in here. You know, this was a huge foam mattress. This was all household goods. So this fire was nasty, guys. This big black smoke coming out of here. Probably huge flame. Who knows what time of the day or night this happened. But it's just really, really unfortunate. And let's step back outside for a second here. And yeah, this window, guys, I'll jump down and head over this way. It's not good. So this is a huge window, and the problem that I've already kind of thought with these containers is we just cut this opening for this really nice window that was in there, and now we have to get a new window. You know, this was just a salvage window, a massive salvaged window that Liz and I had, or that Homestead Rescue found, I should say. And yeah, now we have to try to replace that window. I'm sure that's a super expensive window to replace that. That's probably about 4 feet by almost 4 feet high. And yeah, not even salvageable. Everything's just either warped or burned, and really unfortunate. We got really lucky, I believe. Somehow this floor did not catch on fire. This is a plywood floor, guys. Somehow the whole floor did not catch on fire. So we did, you know, get lucky in that sense. And this is one of those things where Liz and I really don't come up here too frequently in the winter. It's got to be more now, apparently. So this probably happened a fair bit ago. We're guessing that this was maybe 10 days ago, 14 days ago that this went down. And you know, what's really interesting is there were a few events that have transpired over the past little while. I don't want to get into too many details, but there was another YouTube channel that was talking about us in negative connotations. With all that was said and all that, Liz and I had received pretty personal threats on the property, on our house. We had people emailing us comments, very direct threats from the content, because of the content that this other YouTube channel had put out. So there is obviously speculation that this could be an internet sick person. And I hope that's not the case, guys. I really hope that's not the case, because that's going to change a lot of things. If somebody had malicious attempt showing up here from the internet, like, how dare you? How dare you, dude? We're hoping that's not the case. Another probable, you know, I guess speculation is there is another property that recently burned to the ground about the same timeline when we're estimating that this got set on fire. Obviously, we have a case of arson here. There's pretty good evidence that the other home, it was a full home, burned to the ground completely. There's pretty good evidence that that was arson as well. So we don't know what to think. This is a very unsettling time. You know, it makes me nervous. It makes me uneasy about the property. I don't like that people think they can just walk around out here. This is private property. It's very well posted. Unfortunately, some things arise after the fact. Should we have had a good security system up here? Probably. Should we have needed it? Probably not, but you know, now we just placed a massive order to upgrade our security system exponentially. So in the instance that anybody gets the courage to come back up here again, I challenge you, please, you will be caught, you will be identified, and that's going to be the least of your worries, is being identified. So we upgraded the security system substantially up here. You know, we got it on order, so we got to get all that going on. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to update you guys on this. I wish this little, you know, tour, whatever it was under better circumstances. We had massive plans for this thing come springtime. We have, you know, we're going to do big work to this, and now this sets us back quite a bit. We have a lot of stuff to revamp to get back up to par, to baseline, before we can even start building on this, to get going on the plans. And it's just like straight up malicious. We had a ladder down here. Look at this, guys. You see a ladder down there? So that ladder, we had that going up to the roof because we thought, hey, that's pretty neat, we can climb on the roof. So we had a ladder that Liz and I had carried up here, and you know, someone just goes and chucks it over the side. And unfortunately, a lot of the snow came around in between the time that we think it happened and right now. So that leaves, you know, pretty much any legitimate evidence that's outside completely buried in snow. I am hoping so bad that these people, I know it was multiple people, I'm hoping so bad that these people dropped anything. Best case would be a wallet. But yeah, so a lot of the evidence is covered, other than just the little bit of evidence that we have inside here, which is like just the boot prints, really. We got really good pictures of the boot prints. And yeah, they also recovered some other prints from different places on our property, as well as other properties in our county. And they're very similar, guys. They're very, very similar. So they were gonna cut it off in here. This is a terrible background to end the video, but it's a pretty terrible video. So we'll see you later.